Hello, good morning. So my name is Andrew Shushu. I'm the Assistant Director with Access to Language Studies. And my coworker is with us today. Her name is Jenny Brown. Jenny, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Jenny Brown. I've been with Access to Language Studies for about 3 years now, and I am a teacher during the school year. I teach a variety of different topics and ages of students. Andrew, you are also a teacher as well.
Yep.
So
Yeah, great. Thank you, Jenny. Sorry about that. I've been a high school and a middle school teacher. Currently, right now, I'm also teaching elementary school, and I've been working with English language learners here in the United States for the past 6 years. And today we're going to talk a little bit about our summer programs. We have two online virtual programs. The first program is called Access America, and the second program is called Access Summer Academy. So we're going to talk a little bit more about those two programs today.
but before we do, we're putting a link in the chat to something called Nearpod. This is a program that our students use when they're actually live in our classes to follow along with teachers and to learn their lessons. So if you quickly can click that link in Nearpod and put in your name, we'll be able to follow along with us. You can see that Andrew is projecting the slides on the screen. He'll kind of talk you through in terms of where to click and what to do, but we'll be in control of the lesson and you'll kind of get to experience things exactly as an Access to Language student will be experiencing them. So go on and click the link. You can also click join at nearpod.com. And you can also type in the code QWCDE. All of this is located in the chat box down on the right side. There's a control panel on your screen. You can click that and you should be able to sign in and join us.
All right, great. Thank you, Jenny. So here at Access to Language Studies, we've been in the business of providing international students with the opportunity to learn English in the US and learn about American culture for 20 years. And we operate two programs traditionally in Boston and New York City as well. It's really our passion to provide as much as high quality of a service as we can to our students. As you can see, our summer programs take students all over the city of Boston as well as New York. Great. So today we are going to talk a little bit about our two virtual programs that we have for this summer. The first is Access Summer Academy, and the second is the Access America Summer Enrichment Camp. So we're going to get a little bit into the details now about those two programs. First, we're going to start off by talking about Access Summer Academy. And our motto this year for our Access Summer Academy is to access the world from your home this summer. We know with the recent events that both teachers and students are indoors, and we've all had to adapt to learning in a virtual environment. And with the Access Summer Academy program, we're trying to bring all of the best aspects of our traditional summer programming in New York City and Boston to the virtual world, so that students can get a little taste of what it's like to learn in the United States, and hopefully intrigue them enough to get them to come next summer. So we're thinking long term with how we can encourage students to attend our programs in the future as well. A little bit about the Access Summer Academy. Each day is 3 hours of programming, so it's 15 hours per week. Students will have 2 hours of live interactive EL lessons using Microsoft Teams as well as the Nearpod platform. Jenny's going to talk a little bit more about Nearpod later. One of the great aspects of this learning platform is that it includes a wide array of virtual field trips. Students will also participate in cultural workshops, learn a lot about what it means to learn in the US history, US culture, things as such. There's lots of games included in this learning platform, and it's really a lot of fun. That's what we're really trying to push this summer. These are not your traditional online lessons with just a teacher and students over Skype. It's very engaging for our students, and we think that's the best way students can learn about the US as well as learn the English language. So our students are also going to be offered a free Office 365 subscription, and that'll last until December 31st. And this Access Summer Academy program is best for international students. And through this program, we'll be grouping our students by age as well as by their English language level. So we could see students ages 12 to 14 will be working together, 15 to 17, as well as 18 to 22. And here we could see the session dates. Our first session begins on June 22nd, and our last session ends on August 14th. And each one of our sessions is 2 weeks long. And you could sign up as well for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or for 6 weeks. As we can see here, this is our class time schedule. Running off of Eastern Standard Time, our day begins at 8 a.m. and then runs to 11 o'clock. We're also offering night classes for our Asian market, and we could see those times reflected on the image on the slide as well. And here's some more really important details about the program. Here's a sample schedule. Each week we're going to have a focus on a different American city. The first week will focus on different interesting facts and places to visit in the city of New York, one of my favorite cities here in the US. And as we can see, the students will have an EL lesson for 1 hour. They'll engage in a cultural workshop for another hour. And then one of the great aspects of our program that makes this really unique is that for the third hour, the students will be engaged in what we call small group exploration. And they'll be working on projects in small groups or on their own, and they'll be able to receive more individualized instruction from their teachers during that time period. One of the other great opportunities is at the end of the schedule, we could see that it says one-to-one Premier Tutoring. Students can opt in and pay for additional time with their teachers if they want, and those are in 30-minute time sessions. So that's wrapping up the first program, the Access Summer Academy, which is best for international students. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about our Access America Summer Enrichment Camp. And the beauty of this Summer Enrichment Camp is that it connects high intermediate as well as advanced students, international students, and it connects them with learning in a digital environment with students here in the US. So it's really a very dynamic learning environment. Students from abroad will be able to learn with students here in the US. It's very similarly structured to the Access Summer Academy. There's 3 hours a day, 15 hours per week. And these students will also be engaged in small group exploration and project-based learning. And here's our schedule so far with the morning and night sessions for the Access America Summer Enrichment Camp. And as we can see, this is less based around English language instruction and more so based around passions, what students are interested in. We wanted to create unique programs and not just have traditional online lessons. And as we can see here, there's an array of different themes that students can sign up for. So if students are interested in film production or environmental science or art exploration or American college preparation and exploration, I think these are different topics that students are interested in, both domestically as well as abroad. And we really wanted to use this opportunity to create a chance for all students to kind of learn together and learn more about the things that they're interested in. As I said before, this is best for American as well as high intermediate or advanced English level international students. And as I mentioned before, we also group our students by age, so 12 to 15 and 16 to 19. That way we don't have a 12-year-old and a 19-year-old in the same classroom. Our session dates run similarly. The first session runs from begins on June 22nd, and the last session ends on August 14th. And here we could see a similar time structure to before. And here we can see an example schedule for this program. And this is an example schedule for the environmental science program. And in the first week of the program, students will learn a little bit about the issues of climate change. Climate change, the Green New Deal, green movement is a very engaging topic and a big topic of interest for students, I think, across the world. So we wanted to provide students with the opportunity to dive into this. And as we can see in our schedule, students will engage in learning a little bit more about one of the issues, such as sea level rise or microplastics, and then use the additional time period to engage in a research workshop and also engage in small group exploration projects as well. And they also have the option for one-to-one tutoring. And so now I just want to really go over our program features that really make our programs unique in comparison to some of our competitors. We have a very lively and interactive format. Our programs provide students with the opportunities to make friends from around the world. Our lessons are very structured, and we know that for certain they'll improve language and academic skills as well as cultural awareness. And most importantly, students can have fun, learn with others, and be very engaged, all from the comfort of their home. And Jenny's going to go ahead next and really dive deep into showing everything about our learning platform, Nearpod, and everything that it has to offer our students and really why it makes our program unique.
Thanks, Andrew. So really fast, I see a lot of you have joined us on Nearpod. Again, if you go into the chat on your GoToWebinar control panel, there is a link if you do want to join us and try some of these really awesome activities. These are the sort of things that your students, if you get them to sign up with us, will be experiencing. So as you can see on the screen right now, if you don't want to sign up or try Nearpod with us, Andrew's going to be demoing it right in front of you. So an example of something students will get to do is drawing their favorite food. We have an awesome drawing option for all of our students. So if if they're in a lesson and they're struggling to find the right words, they have the ability to draw something. So for example, all you have to do is just click and draw your favorite food. You also have the option to go in and find your favorite food, a picture of it. So I see that people are already going and they're drawing their favorite foods. As a teacher, I can see in the back end what all my students are doing in live time. So I can see that somebody has already, and the best part is too, that I can go and I can share it with everyone. I can see, sorry to interrupt your drawing there, Andrew, that someone has drawn a pizza. They really like pizza. And then I can let my students go back to work, which is very cool. The other option, as I was mentioning, is that you can go in and you can find a picture if you're not an artist. So somebody looks like they put a steak and they really like steak. Sorry again, Andrew, I'm interrupting your drawing. So there's all kinds of different things you can do. Drawing is just an example. You can also write on it, as Andrew is typing right now. So in our classes so far, we've seen a variety of different responses from our students, and they're totally engaged when they're like, wait, I don't have to, just type another boring response or, speak my mind as much as I want to. I have something to support my thoughts and what I'm saying. So a lot of times our teachers have students draw something and then they talk about it and they explain, why do you like pizza? Why do you like steak? And it's a very exciting and interactive thing for our teachers to have to support them in their teaching, and students, I think, to support them in their learning. Another really great thing we have is just basic slides. Our teachers go in and they're building the curriculum from scratch. So we have a lot of really great resources with Nearpod, but we also have a lot of really highly experienced educators building our curriculum, specifying it to students' needs. And while we're on that topic, I think our teachers really work hard to connect with our students. So they really get to know them on a personal level. I know it's usually challenging with the virtual background, but I think when you can see what everybody's drawing, whether or not you necessarily acknowledge it, you're still taking in, hey, you know what? Pablo really likes pizza. So you can kind of know that as an educator and really connect with students and tailor lessons around both our curriculum as well as what students want to learn. Another really cool feature that we have available for students is just a simple fill in the blanks. So sometimes with grammar or new vocabulary, for example, we had our 3 meals of the day here in America, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have the ability to see what students are capable of as a teacher or students for themselves in terms of filling in the blanks. And again, as a teacher, you get all the feedback from that on the back end. So you constantly, as a teacher, are knowing how your students doing, knowing what they need help with, knowing what you should adjust, which is really great because then students are able to learn. Another cool one we have too is just matching pairs. So finding the vocabulary words that match the pictures. We do this with grammar as well. We do this with all types of vocabulary, everything like that. Another awesome option to have in lessons. I think students really enjoy this, especially because they can visually see everything. While verbal lessons only are great, I think to have the ability to actually go in and really practice something, this is almost like a virtual flashcard for them. Where as a teacher, again, I would see the background, see what people are getting right, see what they're getting wrong, and try to help them. There's not really many quiet sessions with access to language studies lessons. We tend to try to keep it very vocal, very conversational. Another one, this is just a simple open-ended question that we have. So if you were going to eat breakfast in America, what would you like to eat? Is there something you've never had that you would like to try? We have awesome diagrams and different things that we put in to support our students with vocabulary. And then also we have this thing called a submersive reader. So Andrew's going to click on it for you, but it's very cool. On our slides with a lot of text, we actually have something that goes in and reads it to students. It can change the size, the color, the font, whatever it is they want. It also pulls out all of the grammar. So it tells you about syllables, how to break it down and read it correctly, and then what type of speech it is. So that's very cool. We also have the option from Microsoft, since we are using Microsoft Teams, to have things converted into a student's native language if they're really struggling. And we have it here in Nearpod as well. You can go in and, okay, say you're from China. You can go in and translate something into Chinese if you're really struggling as a student. There are picture dictionaries as well, but sometimes those aren't necessarily helpful in terms of finding the right word. It's just an example of what somebody put in terms of writing. It's hopefully going to pull you out of there. Maybe not. You might have to exit that, Andrew. Thank you. So here's an example. If I was visiting America, I would try pancakes at IHOP because I heard they're amazing. I've never had bacon from America before. So that is what I would try, and hopefully it tastes great. So, I mean, there's all kinds of different answers coming in. I see I would like to eat toast with cheese. That sounds really good too. I mean, there's all kinds of different responses you see, and these lead to amazing discussions in the classroom. Another really cool feature that we have is called our collaboration board. This is more meant for students in that it happens in real time. So they have the option to respond to the question, what do you typically eat for breakfast? And you can see they're kind of coming in as Andrew searches for a picture, so they can respond with pictures, they can respond with words, and they can go in and like each other's, just similar to social media. So if you have those students who are super obsessed, I know I have a few of them, with Instagram and all of those different social media formats, they can actually just talk to each other in class fairly quickly. As a teacher, we can monitor it and we can see who wrote it. I know on your end you cannot see who wrote it, but it's very cool. So they type in the bar below where Andrew's cursor is currently, and they can pick a response, and you can see it in real time. Everybody's answers are straight, open, and out there for everybody to see, and it's very cool. I see all kinds of people picking out food and different things. It looks very good. Okay, so moving on, one of our favorite things at Access to Language Studies that we try to incorporate into, I would say, almost all of our lessons are virtual tours. So while we're all quarantined right now and it's really rough, we can still go to places even though it's through our computers. So this is a virtual tour of a restaurant. It's very cool, very interactive, especially those of you who are following us live on Nearpod. You get the lucky opportunity to explore this on your own. But for now, Andrew's going to kind of just drag you through it on his screen. So this is outside of a diner. They were talking about breakfast, which is a place Americans typically go to a diner rather. They typically go to a diner for breakfast. This diner, you can go inside, you can explore. It has vocabulary words. It actually does read it to the students. It would read cash register. And then you can go and walk around the diner. You can click and drag. It'll bring you to different places. There are interactive videos as well. When you hit the little triangle button, that teach the students how the vocabulary words are used. So sometimes teachers will share the diner on their screen or wherever it is we're going. We can go to a variety of places. You'll see a few more in a few minutes. But you can kind of go through, and as a teacher, you can describe it. You can give students the ability to drag around on their screen and look for themselves and explore. And usually these activities are linked to other activities that are very cool to get feedback. Or you are in a kitchen in a diner. I mean, it's very cool, especially when students, you know, normally I would say I don't know how many times I go to the back end of a restaurant. So it's a very cool opportunity to see things that traditionally you don't normally see, and especially now in these wild times, you just don't see at the moment. Um, Additionally, we have an opportunity to give feedback again. So this really focused, this particular lesson we pulled from, focused on the words menu, booth, and oven. We asked students to go in and draw them again, draw what you see. And that's just another way to kind of become familiar with vocabulary words is, okay, did this register in my mind? I'll give you a second to draw if you would like. I see some people are drawing. I don't want to cut you off on that. So looks like Andrew is typing something. I don't know what he saw at the restaurant. I cannot read his mind. Says, I remember seeing the back of the, I'm guessing restaurant, maybe? Oh, diner. Perfect. So yeah, and I see a lot of other people are putting in fun responses as well. Oh, he's still going. Where the food is made. Awesome. So some people are still drawing. I'm sorry to cut that off. I'm going to keep going. We will give you other chances to draw as well later in the presentation. Another thing that's very popular, because we do want our students to still be speaking, is to write a short dialogue. We have a lot of dialogues and students performing those dialogues, a lot of question and answers as well. Again, this creates a platform for students to write, you know, whatever conversation they want to plan and then share that with the class. A lot of the times we do have breakout rooms so students are able to work on their own or in small groups. I mean, on your own, you don't really need a room, but in small groups of maybe 2 or 3, and the teacher can drop in and say, hey, how are you guys doing? See what they're working on. This would probably be something I would say a teacher would assign as a small project or a small group project where students would work together. Sorry, Andrew, I'm going to cut you off again. Just giving everybody a taste today. So another cool thing is a field trip. I know Andrew had kind of touched on Access Summer Academy's virtual workshops, cultural workshops rather. And we try our best, since students are not able to get to New York and Boston this summer, our 2 favorite cities, to kind of bring those cities to them and help them plan trips for those cities for next summer. Our hope is to have students come join us in the summer of 2021. In New York and in Boston, I've worked at both sites and they're both fantastic. There are so many opportunities. One of them is visiting the Empire State Building. So we have students, we try our best to expose those students to as many places as possible. And then as a culminating project, they're actually going to be planning their own trip to New York City or to Boston, depending on what their preference is. They're going to select the places they enjoy the most, the places they'd like to go to, whether it's stores, whether it's historical sites, whether it's, you know, just going to the Empire State Building. They'll be learning about those all week. And then at the end, I would say they're going to do a week of Boston, a week of New York. At the end of everything, the end of the 2 weeks, they're going to be creating a short video, preferably with a small group. As I mentioned before, we have those great breakout rooms, but they can also do it on their own if they prefer, of, you know, hey, I'm going to go to New York. These are the places I'm going to go to. This is why, and they're going to present it. So they're going to get really excited and with the intention of hopefully visiting us next summer. This is a small version of a virtual field trip to the Empire State Building. And again, it comes with all kinds of different activities. It comes with history, it comes with the background, and then it comes with the experience, well, the virtual experience. So this is just talking about the Empire State Building and its history. This, of course, would have a short lesson or video before it, kind of explaining a little bit more about the Empire State Building. Again, I just kind of picked the best of for this. And then we go in and we do fast facts. So a really cool feature we also have is that we build these as well. You can go in and you can click on the Empire State Building. There are some that are a little more interactive. This one's a little more historical based. And if you hover over those dots, as Andrew is doing, you will see all kinds of interesting fast facts or fun facts about New York City. So there's the Brooklyn Bridge, which is something you can see from the Empire State Building. There's a nap floor. There's an observatory deck. Obviously, that's where they would go. There's secret rooms or secret floors on there. Talks about the giant antennas on the top. And there are also videos in here as well, talking about history and all kinds of different things like that. Some students we know are history buffs as well, so we want to make sure they feel included. And the importance of these cities, I mean, the history is so fascinating of both Boston and New York. So at this point, we're going to share what it looks like, a view from the top. It discusses the vocabulary word panorama, which I think is totally appropriate when you go and you climb the Empire State Building, the 102nd floor. I've done it myself, very cool stuff. This is what it looks like. So it brings you a link, and if you click on it, hopefully it loads on Andrew's end. If you click on it, you actually get to go up to the 102nd floor. If you have sound on your computer, it usually plays the sights and sounds. And you can see all of the different buildings in New York City. I mean, there's a lot going on. This one kind of just shows you all of New York. There's all kinds of fun facts on there as well, or different places you can visit. But we would virtually give a tour of what some of these major places are. Students can explore around. It's very cool. Our teachers are well educated in things like the Brooklyn Bridge, the Empire State Building. Our Boston teachers know all about Boston as well. So it's very cool. It's a very cool opportunity for students to actually kind of check out the places, and, you know, with the intention of hopefully visiting it themselves next summer and seeing all the amazing sights. Okay, so again, this is just another collaborative board saying the names of places you saw and what you can do there. Maybe you saw the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know. Looks like Andrew's typing in a quick response for us. Someone saw the nap floor. That is very true. There is a great nap floor. I think it's only for special visitors. So looks like Andrew saw the nap floor as well. Oh, the secret 103rd floor. Yep. So it looks like, you know, those of you who are following along with us, you are seeing some really cool things. I'm sure some of you are still typing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off again just to keep this moving because we have other cool features to see. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is our second programming option. So the first one was Access Summer Academy. That was for the international students. Access America rather, Summer Enrichment Camp is for the high-speaking international students as well as American students. So as you can see, we have a list of options that our students can become engaged in, everything from film production and studies, environmental science, music history and passion, art appreciation and exploration, personal finance for teens, creative writing, and the American College preparation and exploration. I'm going to call it an experience. There's a lot going on there for them, a lot available. So these different workshops or camps, I guess we can call them, run at specific times. Andrew did share the dates with you. We do run different workshops. We have them going twice a day, trying to make it available to the different markets. We know we have all kinds of time zones to work with. So basically these workshops are built by our educators, and hopefully trying to tackle the interests of students and kind of, you know, let them explore them head on with experienced educators who are also passionate about these subjects. We have a very nice variety of educators who are really into some of these topics. So a first example of something we can do, we're going to talk about the environmental science workshop. We have some really cool hands-on experiments and activities for them. As you can see on the screen here, it looks like it's talking about energy and all kinds of different ways. Oh, and Andrew's showing us the submersive reader again. Again, that can be translated. So if we have someone who is like borderline about taking this class, it does translate into their native language. This is a really great opportunity, speaking of those high intermediate and advanced students, to bring in new vocabulary words. So, you know, maybe you have somebody who is interested in taking the TESOL, or somebody who even wants to come and study in America. This is a really great opportunity, especially if they want to go to an American high school in the next, you know, maybe for their junior or senior year, 11th or 12th grade. This is a great opportunity, any of these, to learn more extended vocabulary. So like photosynthesis, calcification, words like that. We also, as you can see, have very interactive diagrams for them to study these different vocabulary words and kind of learn to place them. Also very cool, we have interactive simulators for our science classes. So environmental science is currently what we are offering. This is showing you can do anything from, like, I don't know, heating up, I think you heat up water, put it in there. I think you can power a light bulb, which is very cool. Showing, you know, using hot water. So students are kind of going in, they're simulating, they're trying things. It's almost like a virtual lab, which is very cool. This is just an example of a simpler one, just to kind of let you play around, to show the different types of energy we use and can we power a light bulb. I think there are a few more other options there, but just kind of showing them a little bit of environmental science. And then that all kind of leads to, okay, let's talk about, you know, changes of state and matter. So looking at this, we've got a volcano exploding, talking about, you know, what that means for the earth, talking about the different changes in properties and different things going on. It's very cool. They can explore it. I don't know about you guys. I've never been to an active volcano, so I think that's kind of neat. And just kind of taking in the sights and talking about it. Okay, so moving on, our music appreciation class. This one is very, very cool as well. It brings all music audio files, I guess you could call it, people who are obsessed with music, I know I am, together. It's very interesting in that we have sort of interactive lessons as well, where you can click and learn more extended vocabulary if you are, you know, a high speaking student. I don't know too many students that know what an oboe is, or a bassoon, probably a flute or a clarinet, but kind of just really learning about those different instruments. They also go on virtual field trips, experience music together, and will take a stab at creating their own music. If you do have your sound on your computer, you can hear the flute and you can hear the examples of the movies with the flute, and you can read about the flute. There's all kinds of different things like that, as well as, I think this one, they are exploring, looks like an ASAP Rocky concert. So they're going in and they're checking out different concert venues, what type of people they will experience at those concerts, you know, and then eventually there are some with music as well that are active, but this one just happens to be standalone. The third one, the third, I guess, camp we are kind of just focusing on right now, because I know there is a lot of interest, is our college and career exploration camp. This particular example is about Yale University. It is very famous. It is one of the Ivy League schools located in Connecticut, USA. It's a brief lesson about the colleges themselves. A lot of this course is going to be, what does it take to get into an American college? Where do I want to live or go to an American college? How much do they cost? How do I save money for an American college? And also just having students getting to know themselves. So while this is just a tiny portion of this class or camp, basically you would go in as a student, learn all about Yale University. We have a variety of universities, everything from, I would say, Harvard to even just state schools, smaller schools, community colleges. Students will kind of learn what they all are in the American system, how it works, and they will be able to compare and contrast them. Yale University, really having them think, okay, is Yale a good fit for me? What doesn't seem like a good fit? Kind of processing that information. And then they get to go and check out Yale. So there is a virtual tour here that they can kind of drag and pull around. The teacher will go around and kind of teach them more about what the specific buildings are. These two buildings are actually dormitories and dining halls. I know it doesn't look like it. It kind of looks like a scene from Harry Potter, but these are actually where Yale students tend to eat and live. And that building straight ahead of you is actually classrooms. So just kind of moving on. Again, they have like a quick reflection. They'll put this together at the end and have like a small portfolio about the colleges they experienced and what they liked, what they didn't like, and try to figure out, if the American college experience is for them. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, and what it takes to get to the school of their choice if it is. So the other thing I think we're going to talk about really fast is we have a lot of really great opportunities since people are remote, and we're not really sure when that is ending. Everything seems to be up in the air, as I'm sure you all know. We are trying to figure out if schools would like to partner with us internationally. So while we have this really great program, we have really great instructors, we are reaching out to you as agents, trying to figure out if you have connections with schools and you think they would like to outsource their English department or their English teaching with us. So that's something I think Adria will talk a little bit more about how to get in touch with us. But if you are interested in delivering lessons like this, definitely reach out to us, because I think it's a really great opportunity not only for your school systems and your teachers to learn how to use great technology like Nearpod in their lessons, but also to have an English speaking instructor to co-teach with them. And yeah, so that's pretty much a very, very fast version of Nearpod. I'm going to turn this back over to Andrew to kind of talk to you a little bit more about the pricing.
All right, great. Thank you, Jenny. So as we can see here on this slide, our retail price is $430 per 2-week session, and that includes a commission of 20% for our agents. We know times are difficult right now, but we really want to assist all of our agents out there, and we know how hard you're all working to continue to provide English language instruction and summer experiences for students, and we want to be able to support you as you support us. In addition, because we're thinking about how we can connect what students are learning about this summer to experiences that they can have in the future, 10% of students' tuition can be applied to enrolling in our in-person camps in Boston or New York for the summer 2021 season. And as we can see right here is our pricing. See? So these are the net prices. We have a $25 application fee. And then that's the pricing for the one-to-one premier tutoring that we offer as well. And again, something really important to keep in mind is that 10% of the tuition can be used as a credit towards the 2021 summer programs in Boston and New York. One of the other things that we've heard from communicating with all of our agents is that students out there, students' parents, are very interested in the programs and learning more, and they're very interested in demo lessons. So that's something we're interested in providing as well. So if there are any students out there that you know who are interested, we are planning to provide a free demo lesson to try out the program so that students can decide if either one of these programs are the program for them, and they can sign up for that directly on our website that we can see at the bottom of this slide. And here we have another example of one of our collaboration boards. You can go ahead and take a second to think about any questions you might have, anything you want to learn more about. If you have any questions that Jenny or I could answer, you can go ahead and type those into the box below, and we can share those out.
Well, we do have a question. So when is the free demo lesson? We are going to have that lesson 1 week from today, actually 12 o'clock GMT, 12 p.m. So if you are interested, there is a sign up going up on our website. It should be up by the end of the day today. If not, feel free to reach out to us via email if you do have students who are interested, and we will send you the information form. Yeah, it's a great question. Any other questions? Give you about another second here. We don't want to waste anyone's time. Oh, there we go. So are any students enrolled and learning on this platform now? Do they like it? Yes, we do have students enrolled and learning on the platform at the moment. We have actually 4 different classes going on, the 4 different levels for Access Summer Academy. Students seem to be really liking it. They're very active learners. The teachers are having a lot of fun getting to know these students, and it's definitely a very great opportunity. Yeah, it seems to be going well. So we have another question. Can we see a class lesson to explain to students how interactive lessons they will have? So the Nearpod examples that I gave you are pretty much what it's going to be like in terms of interactive lessons. At the moment, our outreach team is putting together a recorded video about what our lessons look like. So if you do want to share that with your prospective students, we can definitely get that for you. Please let us know, send us an email, reach out to us, and we're happy to do that. Any other questions? So if you do have other questions, feel free to reach out to us. And by us, I mean Armando Silva. He's the company president, the owner of our company, as well as Andrew, who is obviously on this call, or this webinar, I should say. Their email addresses are listed below. You can also reach out to contact@accesstolanguage.com. You can reach out to us on social media. And if you have questions for me specifically, I'm sure if you ask either of them, you can definitely get the question answered. They can reach out to me. So thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. It's been a really great time. And thank you for all your awesome participation on Nearpod and your wonderful questions. We look forward to hearing from you soon.